Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw report from November 25th, 2019. Birthdays for this week. November 23rd, birthdays. NXT Superstar Aliyah turned 25 years old. ECW and WCW Valet Christina Kimono Wana Leah Miao Lam turned 43, and former WWE Cruiserweight Champion Juventud Guerrero turned 45. Birthdays for the 24th, Beth Phoenix. She was born in 1980. Birthdays for the 25th, former WWE and current Impact Wrestling announcer Josh Matthews turned 39. Also would have been the 77th birthday of Hall of Famer Blackjack Mulligan, and 73rd birthday of Hall of Famer Johnny Valiant. Despite undergoing back surgery on November 12th this year, about a week, 2 weeks ago, Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan still hoping for one last WWE match at WrestleMania 36. As seen in the video here, Hulk spoke with a YouTube channel based in Saudi Arabia, while WWE was in the Kingdom last month for Crown Jewel event. Hogan was asked about an in-ring return and if he will be ready for the comeback one day. Yeah, I've been talking to Vince McMahon. Hogan said of a positive return. History is very important to me. I've had a very long career. And part of my career was with a very, very small company. And a very gracious lady named Dixie Carter at TNA. I actually had my last match there. That's hard for me to live with. I want my last match to be in the WWE. As noted last week, Hogan underwent back surgery that he mentioned in the video. He told Sports Illustrated that doctors would be fusing 6 levels together. During the operation, Hogan has been talking about a positive WrestleMania 36 match for several months now. WrestleMania 36 takes place on April 5th, 2020, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, in a city where Hogan has roots to. And I did show you a picture of Hogan's screws being removed from the back. Nothing more than that. Courtesy of Career Builder, at this link, WWE posted a new video of U.S. Champion AJ Styles taking about his WWE career and how he balanced his pro wrestling life with his home life as a dad. Brutus Barber Beefcake was immortalized in the WWE Hall of Fame this year and was one of many legends in the 80s wrestling con. Andy Malnowski caught up with Brutus, where he was asked about the origin of his hedge clippers when he spoke to Wrestling Inc. on the weekly podcast that we found on this link. Looking back on his 41-year career, Brutus named Kurt Hennig as the biggest rival he had in the ring. Mr. Perfect, there was definitely some unfinished business as I ended his perfect streak. Recall Brutus, I was going to take his belt from him and embarrass him in front of the world. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because he died. WWE 205 Live star Oney Lorcan responded to Triple H's comments about WWE talent requesting their release on social media. Lorcan took Triple H to task for his comments, stating that the professional thing would have been for Triple H to speak with the talent directly and not bury them to media. Audio at this link of Triple H's statement. The mature wrestling thing to say would be no comment, and to have a private conversation promoter to independent contractor instead of burying talent publicly to the media, Lorcan tweeted. Sick minus the caps. That's how I do business. It's all about the game and how do you play it. Lorcan reportedly requested his release from WWE at the end of October. However, it has not been granted. He is now using his former ring name, Biff Music, on Twitter. This past year, Ty Dillinger, Mike Killos, ACH, Luke Harper, and most recently Sin Cara have all taken to Twitter to say that they have requested their release from the company. Only Dillinger and ACH's were granted. Triple H addressed talent airing the grievances on Twitter on a media call earlier this week, which can be heard in that video. I don't understand people airing issues, Triple H said. If you have one to have one talk to us. If you put that out there in the media, that's not a way to go about business. If I had a complaint with a talent, I don't go on Twitter and complain to them. I speak to them. I never understood that process if it's a legit. There's a silliness to it, a maturity issue of it's not how you handle business. Anybody that is out there that is serious about it, getting their release, that's talking on the internet, using their phones. You handle your business like a pro. We're in professional wrestling, and the key word there is professional. That's what we are trying to change about the business and making people more professional. WWE 205 Live star Tony Nese welcomed his newest addition to their family, Eric Nese, to the world yesterday. Can be found in this link. Welcome to the world, the future hashtag Premier Athlete Eric Nese, 9 pounds. Nese wrote on social media. WWE congratulatory announcement on the latest edition as well. It's a huge day for Tony Nese as a superstar welcomed his beautiful baby boy into the world on Friday. Eric Nese, who is a proud new dad called the future hashtag Premier Athlete, was born weighing 9 pounds. Join us in congratulating Tony Nese and his wife on the newest addition to their family. Nese and his wife also have a daughter together. Former WCW and WWE star Shannon Moore was a guest trainer this past week at the WWE Performance Center. After purchase of WCW in 2001, Moore switched over to WWE, where he worked until 2005, returning for another run from 2006 to 2008. Moore commented on his time at the WWE facility at this link. What a great week coaching at the WWE Performance Center with all the WWE NXT men and women. Can't say enough how hard the WWE NXT roster works. Check out hashtag War Games and watch this crew kill it. Rhea Ripley made her WWE debut in 2017, Mae Young Classic, in which she lost in the second round. But she was on the WWE's radar much earlier than that, and met with them when she was only 17 years old. She talked about that experience on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, which can be found in this link. And here's what she talked about. I had a tryout in Australia when I was 17. WWE contacted my trainers and asked who would be a few names that they would put forward for a tryout. My name was thrown in there, which I had only been wrestling for a year. So I sent them back all my information after they emailed me, and I was super excited. Recall Ripley, but I was also a little child and couldn't word things, so I sent them back all myself. Then they realized I was 17 years old and told me to contact them again when I was 21. Courtesy of wrestling, thanks to Wrestling Inc. for that news. Also Chasing Glory with Lillian with a highlight. Shout out to Wrestling Inc. for the transcription. And Peter Bahi, Bianca Belair, Lacey Evans, Dominic Dijakovic, and SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E hosted a special WWE community hashtag Play Unified basketball game with the Special Olympics of Illinois on Friday, which can be found at this link. The Superstars served as honorary coaches for the teams. The event was part of the Survivor Series week happenings. WWE gave WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, a new entrance theme, which can be found in this link, which fans got to hear at WWE Live event in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Last week, Kerry Sane retweeted a fan video and responded finally to the musical change. The previous thing was just Asuka and Sane's individual themes being mixed together. WWE has announced that WWE Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt will appear on this week's Friday episode of SmackDown episode on Fox with a new character in the Firefly Funhouse segments. Apparently, a new puppet being added to Wyatt's roster. Recently on the Steve Austin show, Hall of Famer Steve Austin was joined on the program by NWA's Eli Drake, which you can see his debut at this link. Among other things, Drake talked about rubbing people the wrong way in WWE when he was I guess it was NXT or whatever, and Impact Wrestling. Injured superstar from SmackDown, Xavier Woods, has been announced for WWE's bump this week on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. The also Hall of Famer Trish Stratus will also be on the show. Update on Woods, by the way. He spoke to Chuck Carroll of CBS Sports and he remains active on the Up Up Down 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 gaming channel on YouTube. No real timetable on when I'll be back. It should be 5. It could be 5 months. It could be 9 months. A lot of wiggle room in there, Woods said. And it has not been officially announced on his links, where he hasn't posted it, but just the news. SmackDown superstar Alexa Bliss is reportedly backstage for Raw event from Allstate Arena near Chicago, according to VW Insider. Bliss could be there to meet with the WWE doctors or company officials about her upcoming ring return. Bliss has reportedly been dealing with a shoulder injury as of late, but is expected back in the ring soon. She has not wrestled since Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on October 6th. Speaking of tonight's Raw, WWE tweeted a video at this link of Rusev being served with a temporary restraining order in the state of Illinois. They did the same thing last week. As he arrived to the arena for Raw, Rusev was then asked by WWE security to leave the Allstate Arena. No word yet on how this will play in the storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley on tonight's Raw. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated again this week. Stupid angle. With this, he could easily sue his wife and also Bobby Lashley for compensation, missing work, and now it's storyline. I know it's storyline, but come on, common sense. We're adults here. Stupid. Let me predict it every week, then, huh? New city next week as the restraining order continues for that week's event in that city. WWE on Fox Twitter account announced that this on Monday that Triple H will be appearing on Tuesday's episode of WWE Backstage on FS1, calling in live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. There was obvious excitement over a potential Triple H CM Punk conversation, but Punk will not be appearing this week in his role as analyst. After the announcement was made, one fan asked if Punk will be on this week's show. The WWE on Fox Twitter account replied, he will not be. Matt Hardy returned to action on Raw this week as a botch from the Superstar Exchange. Not happening because Matt Hardy is a SmackDown superstar according to the roster. He was not drafted, but he appeared on Raw. As he lost a quick squash match to Buddy Murphy. This was Matt's first Raw match in 2019 and his first match since WWE Super Showdown and Battle Royal in June. Matt took to Twitter after the loss and thanked the fans for his support, noting that he is going through a confusing period of life these days. Thanks for all the love from around the world regarding my #Raw appearance tonight. I am grateful. I'm going through a tough, confusing period of life right now, and I appreciate your support, Matt wrote, also sharing a link to the 3rd episode of his free Delete series on YouTube. No word yet on what WWE is planned for Matt, but he's still listed on the SmackDown roster as I'm doing this video. This week's Raw near Chicago saw Eric Rowan win a squash match over another jobber, billed as Kyle Roberts, who was using his real indie ring name. Kyle appeared on Raw back in October as Brian with partner Rizzo for a squash loss to Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders. They were billed as the Chicago Cubs in that match on October 28th. Spoilers for this week's main event episode. Natalya defeated Sarah Logan by submission with a sharpshooter. No Way Jose defeated Eric Young. Raw on the USA Network opened with a normal video package. Live from Allstate Arena near Chicago. As the power goes off, inside the arena. Vic Joseph welcomes us. He's joined by Hall of Famer Jerry King Lawler. Again, no Dio Madden. We see the entire Raw roster surrounding the ring as the Raw team plays. Seth Rollins enters the ring to deliver his town hall speech. Fan champion hometown star CM Punk. But Rollins says he just wants to sit behind a desk in Los Angeles and talk about change. He's talking about Punk there. Rollins says he tried to get Punk here on Raw. Rollins goes on about how this is all about us here tonight. Fans interrupt with chants for NXT now. Rollins admits NXT wiped the floor with Raw at Survivor Series. Fans pop. Rollins goes on about how he's always been a fan of Raw. He says this is going to be harsh, but has to be said. Rollins addresses the Raw roster at ringside and says, "You all sucked last night." Fan chant responded, "You suck," chant. Rollins says he's trying to right the ship here, and we all did bad last night. Rollins goes on about how they need to take the top spot back for Raw. Make it the A show again. He asks fans to give him just a minute. Rollins believes in Raw, which is why he called the roster here. He asks if anyone wants to speak up. Randy Orton. Rollins says Orton was on his team last night, and he was a weak link. Orton stares at Rollins and just does that little thing and walks off. Rollins asks if he has anything to say. Orton just walks away and goes to the back. Rollins talks trash as Orton heads to the ramp. Rollins asks Charlotte Flair next. She says Flair is supposed to be a leader of the women's division, but she wasn't even the last one standing for the team. Rollins says, and she calls herself a Flair. Charlotte also walks off, heads to the back like Orton. Rollins turns to Authors of Pain and says they weren't even at Survivor Series, but maybe they should have been because they've been talking about violence for weeks now. And as Team Raw could have used it. A common resident also walked off. Rollins then addresses Rey Mysterio and blasts him for not being able to beat WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Rollins calls Dominic Rey's stupid kid, and then Rey walks off as well. Fans chant a-hole at Rollins as the rest of the roster locker room walks to the back as well. Kevin Owens is the only one left, standing on the apron and standing in front of Rollins now. Rollins mentions Owens being on Team NXT now. Rollins invites Owens into the ring to speak. Rollins goes on about how how much he loves Raw and lives it, wanting to make it better. Rollins calls Owens a lazy piece of crap and says he just shows up. Rollins says Owens will never be Seth Rollins. Rollins says he doesn't mean it that way, but he's coming from a good place. Rollins says this is the right thing to do. Owens responds with nothing but a kick to the gut and then a stunner. Owens exits the ring as the music plays. We see Rollins recovering on the mat as we go to commercial. Back to the ring. Seth Rollins is backstage, looking upset. Charlie Caruso approaches and says it didn't look like things went how Rollins planned. He says he was just trying to get Raw back on the same page. Rollins proposes a match against Kevin Owens tonight and then walks off. Bobby Lashley versus Titus O'Neil. We go to the ring. Out comes Bobby Lashley with Lana. Titus O'Neil waits in the ring. We see how Rusev was served a temporary restraining order earlier in the day when he arrived to the arena, supposedly, and then it was escorted out by security. The bell rings and fan chant for Rusev. Lashley and Titus go at it. Titus gets some shots in, but Lashley decks him. Titus with another big chop, but Lashley comes right back and drives Titus down. Rusev suddenly runs to the ring and attacks Lashley for the DQ as Lana yells. After the bell, Lashley and Rusev brawl to the floor as Lana screams at Rusev. Rusev gets the upper hand and sends Lashley into the barrier. Then yells at him. Fan chant Rusev Day as they brawl up the ramp. Lashley gets control and Rusev drops him again on the ramp. Rusev stands tall as the fans pop for him. Rusev then sends Lashley into the LED board on the stage. Then face first into the announce table. While he's been handcuffed, Rusev takes the top of the announce table and clears it as Lana continues yelling. Well, Rusev puts Lashley on the table and turns to Lana. Well, I guess he spoiled it, telling her this is not about her. Police officers then run out and now pull Rusev off of Lashley, placing him in the handcuffs. Lana taunts him for breaking the law. She checks on Lashley now. Rusev gets free from the officers and charges at Lashley. While his hands are still being cuffed in his back, knocks Lashley off the stage with his shoulder onto a platform below. Couple of boxes. Fans pop for Rusev. Rusev then kicks over a taller structure, part of the set, and it lands on Lashley. Lana screams out. Rusev smiles and plays to the crowd, saying he's back. Officers take Rusev to the back, and we go to commercial. As he got a 90-foot, so he can be in the arena. It's only a 90-foot restraining order. Doesn't say he can beat the heck out of Lashley. Just Lana. Back from the break, we see what just happened with Rusev. We see how Lana looked on, concerned about Lashley as he was loaded onto a stretcher and put into a neck brace during the commercial. Austin Payne versus Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. We go to the ring, out comes Austin Payne, a common wrestler. Mike Rome does the ring introduction. The AOP rushes the ring, and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins wait. Hawkins and the comm start things off. Hawkins charges but gets beat down. Razor tags in and they hit the last chapter. Razor levels Ryder with a big boot and beats him down with knees and more strikes. A comm tags back in. They scoop both of their opponents and drive them over into turnbuckles at the same time. Then deliver the super collider at the same time. Razor tags back in for the big assisted double powerbomb in the middle of the ring for the pin and win on Hogan. After the match, Akama Razor stand tall. We go to replays. Akama Razor stand tall over Hawkins as the music plays in that segment. So to come, Asuka versus Charlotte. Also, U.S. Champion AJ Styles versus Humberto Carrillo and Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. Back to commercial. Andrade versus Akira Tozawa. Back from the break. Out comes Andrade with Zelina Vega. Akira Tozawa waits in the ring. They meet in the middle of the ring and Tozawa shows Andrade. Andrade comes back and power bombs Tozawa. Andrade unloads while Tozawa is down. Andrade keeps control and delivers a chop and a knee in the corner. Andrade keeps Tozawa grounded. Tozawa rallies up, but Andrade hits a suplex. Tozawa blocks the next suplex with a roll up for a 1 count. Tozawa keeps fighting and hits a snap German suplex. Andrade is shocked. Tozawa goes to the top, but Andrade cuts him off and beats him down. Vega cheers Andrade on as he delivers the double knees in the corner. Vega calls for Andrade to finish Tozawa. Andrade hits a hammerlock DDT in the middle of the ring to pin and to win. After the match, Andrade stands tall, music plays, Vega joins in the ring, we go to replays. Aleister Black backstage addressing how Buddy Murphy knocked on the door for a fight 1 year ago. Black says Murphy has a match tonight, so he's coming to collect. Murphy came out to pick a fight with Black tonight just by coming to the arena. Black says, Butter said, we get Matt Hardy versus Buddy Murphy. We go to the ring, out comes Matt Hardy for his return. Back to the commercial. Back to the ring, out comes Buddy Murphy. Murphy unloads the start and beats Matt down in the corner. Matt comes back and mounts Buddy in the corner with strikes. Murphy slides free, hits a big kick to the chin. Murphy sends Hardy out of the ring for a hard fall next. Murphy follows up to the floor and keeps control, launching Matt from barrier to barrier. Murphy laughs as the beating continues. Buddy brings him back in the ring and lands on his feet from the top as Hardy moves. Matt with a side effect on Murphy. Hardy rocks Murphy with a right hand. Matt goes for the bulldog, but it's blocked. Hardy fights out of the corner and comes off second rope with an elbow drop. Matt rallies the crowd and calls for the delete chant. Murphy blocks a twist of fate and hits a huge knee to the face. Murphy then with another big running knee to the face. Murphy drags Hardy over and delivers a third big knee to the face, which it didn't actually hit him in the face, hit him on the shoulder. Announcers are stupid, which dates Matt, apparently. Murphy covers for the pin and the win. Squash match. Maybe a 4 or 5 minute match. After the match, Murphy stands tall as music plays. We go to replays. Murphy takes the mic, calls out Aleister Black, taunting him. Black comes out and charges the ring. They stare each other down. Murphy strikes first, but Black fires back and unloads. Black takes Murphy out with a big strike and a big knee to knock him out of the ring. Black watches as Murphy stumbles around the ringside. Fan chant for Black. Murphy acts like he's going to the back in the ring, but he doesn't. We get replays as Murphy makes his exit as Black watches. Still to come, Carrillo versus Styles with the title on the line. Charlie's backstage with Charlotte Flair. She talks about her history with Asuka and what happened between them at Survivor Series. Flair ready to make Asuka pay for using the Miz tonight. Back to commercial. Back to the break. We see what happened with Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens to open the show. The match is official for your main event. U.S. title match, Humberto Carrillo versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring. Out first comes the U.S. champion, AJ Styles, for the title defense, with all three members of the OC with him. Humberto was out next, but I spoiled it again. Carrillo is suddenly attacked on the ramp by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. They destroy Humberto at ringside on the apron as AJ watched. They drive Humberto over the steel ring steps with the Magic Killer before joining AJ in the ring. Fans boo as OC stands tall in the ring. Ricochet comes down to check on Humberto with referees at ringside. AJ takes the mic and taunts Humberto. He also has words for Ricochet. Ricochet takes the mic and asks if this is what the great AJ Styles has become. Ricochet then challenges AJ, but AJ says he signed a contract to defend against Humberto, not Ricochet, and Humberto just got carried out. AJ denies Ricochet. Music hit, out comes Randy Orton to a pop. Orton says Humberto can't compete, but he can. Plus, the people of Chicago would love to see me RKO AJ's butt through the mat. Orton challenged AJ to put the title on the line. Fan chant RKO now. AJ reminds Orton last time that they faced it was WrestleMania, and he won. AJ says he has nothing to prove against the two guys he's already defeated. Music interrupts. Out comes Drew McIntyre now. McIntyre says he might have a solution. He knows a guy who's AJ's never faced, a guy who's never had a single title shot, which is a lie. Drew says he's tall, handsome, and has a sexy accent. Drew goes on about his success in Survivor Series, including the pin on WWE UK champion Walter. Drew says Chicago doesn't deserve this match, but how about Drew versus AJ for the title for the first time ever? AJ says he's a little sore after stealing the show at Survivor Series. Music hits again. Out comes Rey Mysterio. Rey talks about how he faced WWE champion Brock Lesnar last night, and AJ is just making excuses. Rey goes on and says he's not going to let AJ cheat Chicago out of a title match. So let's make it Rey versus AJ. AJ goes on about how they haven't earned anything. He turns him down as well because they are all just entitled. Ricochet poses a fatal four-way with the winner challenging AJ later on. Drew prefers his idea. AJ says Ricochet's idea is dumb. Gallows and Anderson disagree with AJ. That is a bad idea. AJ tells them to go ahead and beat the crap out of each other. He will pick the bones. We go to commercial. Fatal four-way was up. Ricochet versus Drew versus Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. Bell rings and Ricochet fights off Rey Mysterio. Orton as the bell rings. Winner will become the new number one contender for AJ Styles title. Drew McIntyre gets involved but ends up dumped to the floor. Rey and Ricochet go at it back in the ring. Ricochet and Rey double drop kick Orton back to the floor. Drew ends up catching Ricochet and dropping him hard on the floor, out on the floor. Orton then manhandles Rey and sends him out onto Ricochet. Orton and Drew double team Ricochet in the ring. Drew chops Ricochet while Orton holds him. Drew with a big suplex to Ricochet. Orton and Drew continue to double team Ricochet in the corner. Rey comes back in and they shut him down. And Drew sends him out to the floor. Orton and Drew go back working on Ricochet in the corner. Ricochet fights off Drew and unloads in the corner. Orton also was dropped. Ricochet comes off the top on Drew but lands on his feet. Orton levels Ricochet. Rey comes back in and takes out Drew. Orton was also sent to the floor. Rey and Ricochet trade shots in the corner while Ricochet is on the apron. Ricochet and Rey go to the top. Ricochet shoves Rey to the apron. Drew rocks Ricochet and stops Rey. Drew climbs up for a superplex on Rey, but Rey rocks him. Ricochet knocks Drew upside down, kind of like in a tree of woe. Rey pounds on Ricochet while Drew is upside down. Orton comes over and shoves Ricochet from the top to the floor on the outside. Orton climbs up for a superplex on Rey, but Drew pulls them all down and sends them both on the mat. All three are down on the mat while Ricochet is down on the floor. OC comes walking out to the stage and the fans boo. We go to commercial. As you know, this is a no DQ match because it's a fatal four-way. Also, triple threat match is also no DQs. Back for the break. OC is the ringside watching now. Drew beats on Ricochet in the ring. Drew slaps Ricochet and talks some trash now. Ricochet fights back and nails a kick to the head. Orton runs in, but Ricochet nails a kick to him as well. Ricochet charges, but Orton sends him to the apron for the draping DDT. Orton does it for a 2 count as Drew breaks it to pinfall. Orton and Drew have words in the middle of the ring. Drew with a big chop to the chest. Orton loses his breath for a few seconds, but fires back with a chop of his own. Drew with another huge chop to the chest. Now we're doing their manly things. Much harder and louder than Orton. As he was doing clearing, like here with him ring bells. Orton with a big poke to the eyes instead. Orton unloads on Drew in the corner with uppercuts. Drew with a Glasgow kiss headbutt out of nowhere to drop Orton. Ricochet flies in to take Drew down. Hits a standing shooting star press. Ricochet kicks Ray back out with a drop kick. Ricochet counters Drew for an inverted collar, but it's blocked. Ricochet blocks the Alabama slam for a roll up and a 2 count. Drew counters Ricochet with another slam. Drew with a big sit down powerbomb for a 2 count on Ricochet. Drew waits for Ricochet to get up. Drew goes for the Claymore, but Orton runs in with a big RKO. Drew kicks out too. OC pulls Orton out and sends him into the barrier. Gallows and Anderson. Ray flies in, but Ricochet catches him. They tangle. Ricochet catches a moonsault, but Ray turns it into a roll-up for the pin to become #1 contender. Winner and new #1 contender to AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. After the match, OC watches from ringside as Ray stands tall to his music. AJ likes the result of the match as we go to replays. All smiles. AJ applauds, laughs, and points at Ray as we go back to commercial. And the match was up next. U.S. title match, Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Back to the ring, we get formal ring introductions from Mike Rome, as Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles wait in the ring. The bell rings and AJ goes right to work on Ray, beating him around the ring. AJ places the crowd for some boos. Ray tries to fight back, but AJ drops him with a stiff backbreaker as Luke yells at Carl and look from ringside. AJ says he could do this all night long. AJ with a sack suplex and some more trash talking. Ray goes to the floor for a breather. AJ falls and sends Ray head first into the barrier as the referee counts. AJ with a big chop to the chest. AJ brings Ray back in, but Ray fights back out of a corner. Ray goes to the top, but AJ rocks his knees out. AJ works over Ray while he's upside down with a tree of woe. AJ charges with a basement drop kick to the jaw. AJ covers for a 1 count as Ray gets his foot on the bottom rope. AJ with more trash talking. AJ kicks Ray rounded with a headlock. Ray fights up and out, but AJ rocks him right back to the mat. AJ is all smiles as some fans are booing. AJ uses the second rope to choke Ray. AJ slingshots Ray under the second rope. Ray blocks the suplex attempts and fights back with the strikes. Ray with a big shot to the mouth. Ray hits the ropes, but his left knee goes out. Ray works him over while he's stuck in the ropes. Ray ends up countering and sending AJ shoulder first into the middle of the turnbuckle. Fans try to rally for Ray. AJ gets up first, catches a kick. Ray with insecurity. Ray goes for the 619, but Anderson pulls Ray's leg out. Ray goes down on the mat. Referee ejects Anderson and Gallows to the back as the crowd pops. AJ argues with the referee, but go to commercial. Back to the ring. Styles grabs Ray as he goes down, clutching his arm. More back and forth. AJ climbs up, works Ray over in the corner. AJ charges, but Ray moves, and AJ lands hard with the ring post between his legs. AJ yells out in pain. Ray goes to the top, flies with a seated senton. Ray goes on and hits into a takedown. Ray mounts AJ in the corner with strikes out. Ray runs into a boot in the corner. Ray comes back and counters, hits a bulldog for a close 2 count. Fan check, 619 now. Ray goes to the top, but AJ crotches him. AJ climbs up with Ray for a superplex, but it's blocked. More back and forth until AJ drops Ray's neck over his knee. Ray still kicks down at 2. Ray blocks the Styles clash. Ray with a destroyer of his own for a close 2 count. Ray springboards in and drops AJ for a 619 for a big pop. Ray nails a 619, but AJ goes into the referee, knocking him down. Ray goes over and covers AJ, but the referee is knocked out. Gallows and Anderson came back to rush the ring and attack Ray as the fans boo. AJ slowly recovers as Ray gets double teamed. Randy Orton runs down and meets Gallows at ringside, taking him out. Then Anderson. Anderson goes in for AJ, but AJ rocks him. AJ springboards up AJ springboards, but misses. Ray drops him for the 619. Ray hits the 619. Orton with the RKO on AJ. Ray follows up with the frog splash on AJ as the referee wakes up to count the pinfall and the title change. New U.S. champion Rey Mysterio. After the match, Ray's music hits as he celebrates with the title. His son Dominic runs in to celebrate it with him as he just runs past Orton and Gallows and Anderson as well. Back to the ring, Charlie Cruz with Kevin Owens backstage. She goes to speak, but Owens nicely asks if he can handle this one by himself. She hands it the mic and leaves. Owens starts off with harsh words for Seth Rollins. Owens goes on about how he's never tried to be something he's not in WWE, even when people tried to force him to, because he knows who he is. He always will be, and that's fine. Owens says Rollins has always tried to be what he thinks WWE needs him to be, but he's just turned himself into an insufferable prick. Owens goes on and says the next stunner coming from him to Rollins will turn Monday Night Rollins into the Kevin Owens show. See you in a second. Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. We go to the ring out first, comes Charlotte as the power goes off. Next, we got women's champion, tag team champions, Kabuki Warriors. Asuka with Kairi Sane. I didn't notice the ring music for them from the entrance. As I told you, they've got new ring music. Probably the singles music because it's only Asuka. Bell rings. Asuka taunts Flair to start. Flair rocks her with a forearm to the face. Flair takes Asuka down and unloads her strikes. Asuka goes to the floor and Flair follows. Running her into the barrier, Flair brings her back in the ring, knocks Sane off the barrier with a big boot. Asuka grabs Flair from behind, goes to toss her, but Flair counters and launches Asuka across the ring. Flair stops in the corner. Now the referee warns her. Flair charges in the corner, but Asuka moves. Asuka works Flair over, but Flair drops her with a forearm. Flair repeatedly slams Asuka's head into the turnbuckles now. Asuka counters the slam and drops Flair by her hair. They trade shots from their knees. They go to the feet. Flair fights off a German suplex attempt and drops Flair. Flair charges, but Asuka goes for a submission. Flair resists and drops Asuka for a figure four. Asuka blocks it and kicks her away. Asuka charges, but gets rocked. Sane distracts Flair from the floor, allowing Asuka to level Flair in the corner. Into the turnbuckles with a hip attack. Asuka takes her time and covers for a 2 count. Asuka keeps Flair grounded and works her arm on her arm now. Sane looks on and smiles more back and forth from their knees. Asuka with a big kicks and while Flair is on her knees. Flair catches the kick but misses. Asuka with strikes to the face and a spinning back fist. Asuka charges, but Flair hits a big boot to the face for a 2 count. Asuka rolls to the floor for a breather. We're Sane now. Flair taunts him from the ring as the referee counts. Flair follows, but chases Sane into the crowd. Sane runs away up the steps through the crowd to the concession area. As Flair stops chasing her, Asuka sealed down against the barrier at ringside. Flair walks back over to Asuka as we're going to commercial. Back to the ring, Flair drop kicks Asuka back against the barrier from the ring. Flair brings her back into the ring, but Asuka pulls her into an armbar in the middle of the ring. Flair turns her into a 2 count. Flair fights out and beats on Asuka some more. Flair slaps Asuka. Asuka sends Flair to the apron and kicks her. Flair comes back with a kick. Flair misses a big boot. Asuka drops Flair on her head with a German suplex. Asuka stomps away on Flair. Flair with a roll up for a 2 count. Asuka goes right into the Asuka lock, but Flair pins her. But more back and forth between the two. Flair with a clothesline. Flair with a big chop, backing Asuka in the corner. Into the ropes. Flair with a big follow-away slam and a kip up. Flair steps on Asuka and goes to the top for the moonsault. Asuka moves and Flair lands on her feet. This leads to Flair pinning Asuka for a 2 count. Flair blocks a hip attack. Asuka rolls her up for a 2 count. Flair avoids an Asuka lock. Flair with a belly to back suplex. More back and forth in the corner. Asuka levels Flair for another 2 count. Asuka goes to the top, but Flair ducks a crossbody. Flair then goes for a natural selection, but Asuka puts her into the armbar, then the triangle. Flair tries to power up, but finally does. Into a Boston Crab counter in the middle of the ring. They tackle some more. Flair boots Asuka in the face. Flair works on the leg, but Asuka kicks her, coming right back with a spear for a close 2 count. Sane comes back out. but Flair sends her into the ring post on the outside. As she goes down, Flair comes back in the ring, as Asuka was also on the outside, getting something and hiding it, putting it into her mouth. As the camera comes back to the ring, Asuka spits the green mist in her face. Asuka rolls Flair up for the pin and the win. After the match, Asuka and Saint celebrate with their titles, laughing at Flair. Flair is covered in the green mist in the ring. We go to replays. Eric Rowan versus Kyle Roberts squash match. Back to the ring, out comes Rowan to the ring, still carrying his pet in a covered cage once again. We see the video from earlier with Rowan talking to a camera inside the cage. Enhancement talent, Kyle Roberts waits in the ring. The bell rings and Kyle goes right to the floor to see what's in the cage. This upsets Rowan, who begins destroying the guy on the outside. Rowan powerbombs Roberts into the ring post. Rowan brings him back in the ring and yells at Roberts. Rowan drives Roberts into the mat with 2 Iron Claw choke slams for the cover with a win. After the match, Rowan goes to the ringside to his pit as the music plays go to replays. Cut to a WWE Shop Black Friday segment with the Iconics and WWE 24/7 R-Truth. We see Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens backstage warming up for the main event. Back to commercial. Back for the ring, we see the OC, Sarah Schreiber, and ask AJ for comments on losing the U.S. title, but he's a loss for words. AJ finally speaks and just says Randy Orton's name. We see what happened earlier with Rusev and Bobby Lashley, and now to talk about how Rusev was arrested and Lashley was taken to a medical facility. Charlie backstage with Lana now. Fans boo her. Lana says Rusev is a danger to himself and all of society, which is why she's had to get multiple restraining orders. Lana says Rusev is obsessed with her, but who can blame him? She said tonight's actions are proof. WWE should fire Rusev and send him back to Bulgaria. Lana says she is handling things with the attack on Lashley. Despite the troubling incident, she said she will be okay. Lana walked off. The main event, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Seth Rollins out first. Back to the ring, out comes Kevin Owens. Bell rings and Rollins avoids a quick center, goes to the floor and brawl. Owens sends Rollins into the barrier and talks trash. Owens brings it in, but Rollins decks him. Rollins goes for a dive, but Owens hits him at the ropes. Owens talks some trash and delivers some more offense in the ring now. Fan chant for Owens. Owens drops Rollins again and hits the senton for a 2 count. More back and forth. Some fans chant for CM Punk. Rollins takes Owens down and goes for a single leg crab. Owens powers out and chops Rollins. Owens lifts Rollins on his shoulders, but he slides out. Rollins ends up hitting a sling blade. Rollins knocks Owens out of the ring to the floor. Now as Rollins runs the ropes and hits a dive out on the floor. Rollins runs in again for another dive, sending Owens into the barrier. Rollins brings it back in the ring, springboards in, but Owens ducks. Owens with a big super kick, sending Rollins to the floor. Owens fights the crowd for a pop. Rollins grabs a steel chair, but referee stops him as Owens tells him to bring it in. Owens stands tall in the ring as Rollins stares at him from the outside with the chair. We go to commercial. Back to the ring. Owens knocks Rollins to the mat after they tangle up top. Owens goes for a senton, but Rollins gets his knees up. Owens kicks out at 2. Rollins stomps on Owens and mounts him with a right hand in the middle of the ring. Rollins grounds Owens some more as fans try to start a CM Punk chant up again. Rollins keeps knocking Owens down and working him around the ring. Owens fires back with a big chop to the chest. Rollins brushes it off and unloads in the corner with chops of his own. Rollins with a headbutt. Owens counters and catches Rollins with a big DDT in the middle of the ring. Owens goes on and hits cannonball in the corner. Owens goes to the top, but Rollins rolls to the floor for a breather. Owens leaps from the top and nails Rollins on the floor. Owens brings it back in the ring. Goes for the top for the big frog splash. Rollins still kicks out at 2. Owens goes for a pop-up powerbomb but misses. Owens blocks a pedigree. Rollins comes back and hits a blockbuster. Rollins keeps it locked and nails a Falcon Arrow in the middle of the ring. Owens kicks out at 2. Rollins gets up first. Fans boo as he cranks up the band. Burn it down. Chant starts up. Momentarily, Owens dodges the stomp but misses the stunner. They tangle the trade counters again. Owens with a pop-up powerbomb for a close 2 count as Rollins kicks out. Rollins blocks the stunner and they tangle again. Owens and Rollins trade big kicks. Rollins brings Owens down with a big kick to booze. Owens catches Rollins with a stunner out of nowhere. Austin Payne suddenly entered in the ring while both competitors are down. Owens gets up first, stares AOP down. Owens attacks, but AOP beat him down as the referee calls for the belt for the disqualification. Winner by DQ, Kevin Owens. After the bell, a common wrestler continued to beat down on Owens. A bullcrap chant starts up in the crowd. Rollins watches the AOP destroy Owens in the corner, launching him into the ring post several times. Fans continue to boo. AOP leaves. Owens laying while after a big double team knee. Rollins is still down in the corner, barely moving. Akama Reza approaches Rollins as he gets to his feet. Rollins tells them to bring it, but they just look at each other, then turn and exit the ring. Fans boo Akama and Reza as Akama Reza march back to the back. While Rollins watches from the ring, Owens is slowly getting back to his feet. Rollins looks at Owens and puts him back down with a big stomp. Fans boo loudly as Rollins talks trash to Owens. Rollins with another stomp to Owens while talking trash. Raw goes off the air with Rollins talking trash to Owens while he's down. Post-show segment saw Drew McIntyre come to the ring. After Raw went off the air on the USA Network, Drew came out as Kevin Owens was making his way to the back from the show closing segment, but he stopped to drop Owens with a Claymore kick. McIntyre then cut a promo as Owens was helped to the back. And as the WWE ring crew set up the steel cage, McIntyre ended his promo by calling the Fiend to the ring for a fight. Wyatt came out with his usual entrance and defeated McIntyre inside the cage to retain the title. While the red light was over the arena, Wyatt reportedly destroyed McIntyre in the match and got the win by pinfall after a mandible claw and Sister Abigail. Wyatt just retained his title over Daniel Bryan at Sunday's WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view. Due to low Raw ticket sales, it was announced on Friday that Seth Rollins versus The Fiend would take place after Raw. In a steel cage, despite Wyatt being on the blue brand now, there is no word yet on why McIntyre replaced Rollins in the match. And here's a few fan shots from McIntyre and The Fiend match. At Max Olot 167, at this link on Twitter, Dark Match on Raw saw Drew McIntyre versus The Fiend in a cage match. Holy crap, we're not worthy. At Gardner Winshoe on Twitter, Fiend killed McIntyre. It was awesome at this link. And that concludes my Raw results for this week's, as well as spoilers for WWE main event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you want to be, brothers and sisters. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters. And that's the bottom line. Because I'm not so cold. I said so.